So next up, we have Dr. Prakash Kamaraj. Yes, he's going to talk about Chingari and how to grow and onboard the next 1 billion users to Web3. Give him a big round of applause.
Hey, everyone. Yeah, I'm Dr. Prakash. I'm the blockchain lead at Chingari, and I'm here to talk about what we do in terms of seeing like 1 billion on-chain users in a lifetime, right? So I think the most important thing about social media is like to understand like what is the trend of metaverse that we are approaching to. But what one thing is common is as the metaverse goes to a different kind of product market fit, it's important to understand what are the social experiences that the users really want. I think that is the what we really kind of cared about. So to talk about our platform in terms of how we are kind of looked at different things is, so we are like a really popular social media platform that grew out of India and really popular in the emerging markets especially. So how this happened was, of course, in 2018, 2019, when TikTok got banned in India, there was like a bunch of social media platforms that came online. So how we kind of emerged was like a crypto TikTok version where, and of course, with the growth was kind of noticed by a lot of folks, and we got angel funded by the likes of Balaji Srinivasan and Nawal through AngelList as well. One thing that we kind of noticed was there has to be like a differentiator, right? If everyone is going building TikTok clones, then there's not much to it if the user really wants. The one important aspect that we really pivoted towards, like an already established Web2 company, like how do you approach the whole idea of content ownership for the users? That's when we approached the Web3 switch, so to speak. And even when you do that, I think there has to be a very core problem that you're solving. So for us, the main problem, of course, if you look at the Web3 protocols, there is so much difficulty in the user experience that people generally see. Whereas how we would look at things is like the user product should be very easy to use, that my parent can kind of get access to their own wallet and get paid in tokens or something like that, right? So that was the problem set that we began with, and when we started to look at the larger content creation and the benefits that you get from a platform. So this is a larger picture that we really look at. So look at big platforms like TikTok, Facebook. You earn, of course, there is no incentive, right? Incentive distribution is kept with them, and it's only the top 1% of content creators that get rewarded through brand partnerships and whatnot. But building it from ground up is something like a big opportunity lost for them, but not for us. Through the growth, we kind of adopted a very unified approach where, imagine if you're able to back the early content creators in the early stages with real money that they can kind of use to fund the early growth, right? So that was the philosophy behind doing a very Web3 native way to kind of help the creators and the users as well participate in the Web3 economy. And this is like a snapshot of how we make it really simplified for the user base. Like I said, make it very simple. It's like almost like a Web2 wallet, but at the same time, they have control to the user funds. We have done it at a really great way so that it makes it easier for them to create content through audio or video content and get paid in tokens almost like every day. And also like the instant off-ramp mechanism, like wherever they are. That is something we have done really well. And in terms of NFTs in general, right? A lot of people do understand NFTs, participate in for the culture, but for the average user, they don't know what's the call to action. If I invest in an NFT, like what do I get out of it? So this model we started through like video NFT. This is like really tough to scale. So what we did was we curated like a careful set of influencers, highlight the content, and when the user kind of bets on them, like takes a bet on them, so they get like 10% of the future earnings on the platform. So this way, there's like a circular economy that we create between the user and the creator as well. So this is something that people were able to kind of relate to especially in the emerging markets. And of course, the way we look at Web3 ads is something that is so much middlemen that's existing the ad networks. But you gotta look at it like differently. Like what if we were able to kind of eliminate the middlemen and use the extra incentives to give it directly to the users? This is something we thought of in terms of Web3 powered ads, where like the user kind of gets to participate through opt-in ads and then kind of receive the rewards going forward. But you must be thinking like how there are so much complications that are there, but does it really translate to the number of users? But the answer is yes, because if you look at the user growth that we have had in the last 9 months, so these are like real users, like close to like 2.7 million wallets that have been activated in the last 9 months. It's because we have made this user experience really simple, especially in the emerging market where you have to abstract the difficulties from them. They don't even know what blockchain they're on, right? So that is something we have like taken really extra care connecting the community and understanding the pain points in a lot of ways. And I think this is the way we kind of we see that's a possibility to kind of approach how we kind of onboard a lot of users at scale. And this is something we can also kind of see in terms of how we can educate the next billion users on chain as well. And this is, of course, one other approach to how we kind of not just educate our users, it's also about talking to Web2 companies and how they can change their sentiment towards adopting technology. So what we also do for them, whatever white label solution we kind of build, we just reduce the building time from like 1 year to 2 months through just like simple SDKs they can adopt in their solutioning. So this is one way of also educating companies to adopt the technology through us and also like getting them to kind of use it, leveraging the user base with like an incentive model. I think, yeah, next steps, it's, we just don't want ourselves to grow, right? There are so many ways you can have like we want like 100 million, hundreds of social media companies building on top of a stack as well. That's one way of approaching it. But apart from that, the most important aspect of our strategic expansion, of course, in strategic capital markets as well, is like, how do you make the social experience for creators really useful? User experience is one thing, but the social experience is really important. So it's very important to kind of give the creators the right tool so that they can incentivize through real content ownership and having a connect with the user base as well. And of course, I think Web3 ad experience is something that is we are really working on so that you actually kind of trade off your time for the right amount of rewards as well. And governance is something really, if you look at the Web3 world, governance is a lot of distraction. There are a lot of wrong decisions that happens. And I think as a platform, you should be very strategic in terms of what decision you take. But popularity is something in terms of how the content is driven in the platform is something there is a chance for companies to kind of adopt specifically. Yeah, and I think we are doing a lot of strategic partnership in the US as well, recently with LivePeer. So we're going to be really connecting with a lot of Web3 native platforms as well, and how we can kind of build the next gen kind of creator economy for the users. And to top it off, of course, if you'd like to connect with us, so we are also having like an NFT.NYC special party tomorrow, along with a lot of folks from the VC world, Aptos, Solana Mobile, like a bunch of folks are coming. And you can definitely connect with us in terms, if you are really interested in creating content in terms of specific strategic partnerships. And we are also doing a lot of events for creators. So this is something we'll definitely like to do in the US as well. Yeah, thank you. That's it from my side.